Hi, boys and girls. Happy Thursday. This is the last day of lessons this week because tomorrow is a no school day. Woo woo. So we're going to end our measurement unit today. You've worked really, really hard. And I know that you all know my 3 important rules about non-standard measurement. You can use anything to measure something else as long as what you're using follows the 3 rules, right? Use the same size, one same size, right? All the pennies are the same size, or all the paper clips. Rule number 2. Yes, that's right. You go from the very beginning to the very end, or what do we like to say? Edge to edge. Very good. Make sure it goes from one edge all the way to the other, right? End to end, edge to edge. And of course, my favorite one, number 3. No overlaps or gaps. That's right. No overlaps like that, how they're over each other. No gaps like this one where we leave a big empty space, right? This just has to go perfectly just like that. And you have practiced with me. You have told me when I didn't have it from edge to edge. So I know you are non-standard measuring experts. And just because we're done learning, I mean, we'll still review, but just because we're done learning doesn't mean you have to stop measuring things at home. You can keep measuring. It's really good practice. We also measured a little bit with time. Remember, how do we measure time? We use a clock, right? Because when we measure time, we talk about how many minutes. Remember, my long hand is my minute hand, and it goes around and around and around, right? Pretty fast. It makes one whole trip around the clock in 1 hour or 60 minutes, whereas my hour hand, the shorter hand, it goes a little bit slower. And it takes 12 hours for it to go back to the beginning, right? To go from 4 all the way to 4 o'clock to 4 o'clock, it takes a good 12 hours, right? So we have our minute hands. Our minute hand is our long hand, and for kindergarten and for the worksheets that we have to do, right, all you need to know is it's an o'clock. If it's a 12, if the minute hand is on the 12, it's an o'clock, right? Like always 0, 0, o'clock, right? So this time would be 12. Can't see my 12 very well, can you? 12 o'clock, right? Because minute hand is on the 12. That means it's a double 0, o'clock. And the hour hand is also pointing to the 12, so 12 o'clock, right? What would this time be? Let's see. Remember, I promise it's going to be easy. It's just going to be an o'clock. What time does this clock say? Do you know? 7 o'clock. Very good. And I told you when you get to those worksheets, if you just want to skip them, it's totally okay. But this is kind of fun. It's a way to measure time, right? What does this one say? What time does this clock say? Right, we know it's an o'clock. What is the short hand? The hour hand pointing to 10. So this is 10 o'clock. Easy peasy. So we've done measuring length and height. We've used Unifix cubes and leaves and puppy paws, right? We've done a little bit with measuring time. Just in case when you see those worksheets you want to try and challenge yourself. We've also done heavy and light, right? Heavy, how much if something's heavier, it weighs more than something that's a little bit lighter, right? We talked about needing to know that for how heavy your backpack is, or if how heavy you are to see if mom or dad can still give you a piggyback ride, or if you can give a little brother or a little sister a piggyback ride. It all depends on how heavy or light they are, right? We're going to practice that a little bit more today to wrap up our measurement unit. It's a little bit tricky, so I'm going to need your help. After today's lesson, you'll be all ready to go for measurement to practice things on your own and be ready for when we review it in the next few weeks, right? We have a few more weeks of school, so you might see it come up again. But so today, and then if there's time, I have a little review, but we'll see how much time we have. All right, so this is a scale. It's a balance scale. And if it were real, I would show you at school because I have one of these. See, these are little cups, right? And when you see on a scale, it says card 1 is lighter than card 2. And we know that whatever would be in this cup is lighter because the heavier object weighs more, so the scale, poof, comes down, right? It falls down and makes this one come up because it's lighter. So you're probably asking me, what are you talking about, Mrs. Gibbs? Card 1, card 2? Well, I have all these cards here on my floor, and were we in class, I'd let you pick them, right? And you're going to, I'm just going to randomly pick one. The first one I'm going to put here. The second one I'm going to put here, and you're going to have to tell me true or false. So thumbs up and say true. Thumbs down, false, right? I'm just going to randomly pick it, and you're going to tell me if card 1 is lighter than card 2, whatever is on card 1, actually the picture, right? Because in a real scale, the heavier object would weigh more, so it would fall down, kind of like a seesaw, right? When you're going on a seesaw, if you didn't kick your hands up, right? If you went on the seesaw with mom or dad, right? You'd get on together and you'd both lift up your feet, and mom or dad would go down and you would go up because you are lighter, right? Same thing. That's how a scale works, just like a seesaw. All right, so let's see. You tell me true or false. Ooh, ice cream cone is lighter than a clown. Is an ice cream cone lighter than a clown? Yeah, thumbs up. That's true, right? Of course, a clown would weigh much more than an ice cream cone. Okay, let me see. I'm going to pick, ooh, a piece of popcorn. It's a pretty good chance of it being lighter, right? Tell me something that you think a piece of popcorn is lighter than. Probably anything around you, right? A marker, a crayon, your foot, your shoe. Let's see. An ice skate. True or false? Is a piece of popcorn lighter than an ice skate? Did you guess an ice skate? Maybe. Yes, that's true, right? Definitely true. Okay, a flashlight is lighter than a newspaper. What do you think? That's a tricky one. Depends how big your flashlight is, right? What do you think? True or false? I would give you true or false because really it depends on how heavy your flashlight is and how thick your newspaper is. I told you some of these are tricky, tricky, tricky. Okay, what about this one? A piece of broccoli. It's pretty light, is lighter than a peanut. Do you think a piece of broccoli is lighter than a peanut? Yeah, I think that's false. Most peanuts are about the same size, and broccoli is a little heavier, right? Okay, good job, boys and girls. Okay, now my scale says card 1 is heavier than card 2. So what's different about my scale if card 1 is heavier than card 2? Right, this time my scale, it goes down on card 1 because if it's heavier, that weight is going to pull it down and make what's lighter kind of float in the air a little bit, right? So let's see. So far, we had a lot of truths on the other one. A pencil is heavier than a stack of books. What do you think? True or false? Yeah, that's false, right? We'd have to do it this way to make the scale look correct, right? Right. A pencil is not heavier than a stack of books. That is false. Okay, ooh, what about, it kind of looks like a trophy cup, is heavier than a radio, like Mrs. Gibbs' CD player in her classroom. Do you think a trophy is heavier than a CD player? True or false? All right, if you said true, maybe you're thinking of a really big trophy, right? And if you said false, you may be thinking of a little trophy that you get for playing soccer, right? So, depending on what you were thinking of, we'll see. Could be right. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to say, yay, you got it right. Kiss your brain. You could both be right depending on what you're thinking about. Ooh, okay. Do you think a dollar bill is heavier than a pine tree? Yeah, that's false. No way. A pine tree on that scale would weigh, this would make it true, right? We'd have to flip them. Okay, one more on this one. Let's see. A mushroom, it's a cute little mushroom. A mushroom, fungus, right, is heavier than a necktie. True or false? What do you think? I don't know. That's one of these tricky ones. Again, it depends on how big your mushroom is, right? Tie doesn't weigh very much either. They could be about the same or a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter. Did you say true? Did you say false? I'm going to say you're right either way. I told you some of these are tricky. And now my last scale is card 1 is as heavy as card 2. Do you see how my scale is balanced nicely? That means they would weigh exactly the same, right? Let's see. A bowling ball is as heavy as a bowling ball? Probably, right? They're not telling me the weights. Usually when you go bowling, you'll see a number, and that's how many pounds they weigh, right? But I would think they look about the same size, right? Different color. Could weigh different, but since we don't know, I say, yeah, true. It's about the same. All right, what about this one? A fish is as heavy as a pencil. True or false? Would that balance? Probably not, unless it was a teeny tiny goldfish. But that looks like a pretty good sized fish. So no, a fish is not as heavy as a pencil. That's a big false. Ooh, a girl race car driver is as heavy as a boy race car driver. True or false? Yeah, I think that's pretty true. Right? They look about the same age. They look about the same size. So I think that's true. They would definitely balance my scale. All right. What about a feather is as heavy as, do you know what this is? This is a fishing bob. Kind of floats on the water, right? To see where your fishing line is. It's filled with air. It is metal, but it is pretty light. True or false? Yeah, it could kind of go either way. I think it could be true, depending on the feather. Or maybe this one might be a little heavier. But I don't know. If you said true or false. Yay! I'm saying you got it right. Okay, ooh, what about this? Toothpaste is as heavy as a toothbrush. Oh, look at that. Looks like a pretty full thing of toothpaste. Is that true or false? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's false, right? I think this would be heavier. And my last one, A lemon is as heavy as a lime. Look at their sizes. Look about the same. True or false? Good. I think it's true. They look about the same size. Of course, we wouldn't know unless we had the real objects and had a real scale, right? That's why I said it's kind of tricky. But you did a really good job. I'm super proud of you. Spidey-rific. You did. You're Spidey-rific. Whoosh! I think you did a pretty good job. All right. Okay, super quick. Go ahead and give me 6 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 stretch so highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now from stretch so high, go 6 touch your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Sit. Come back. Crisscross applesauce. Like a proper prince or princess, you're sitting so nice and tall, right? Ready to listen. Now our last thing I had you do 6 is because I want you to tell me which of these are less than 6. Which of these are less than 6? Go ahead and karate chop in your best prince or princess manner, of course. Karate chop. Which ones are less than 6? Very good. Did you get this one and this one and this one? Right. 5, 2, and 4 are less than 6. Not 7, not 10. Very good. All right. Now I want you to tell me what is equal to 6. Karate chop the ones that are equal to 6. I'll give you a little time. There are 3 that are equal to 6. Did you get them all? Let's start at the top. 2 plus 2, is that 6? No, 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 1, is that 6? Yes, 1 more than 5 is 6. Did you karate chop it? Oh, what about 3 plus 3? Yes, 3 plus 3 is 6. Oh, what about 4 plus 2? Think 4, 5, 6. Boop, karate chop. Very good. What about 6 plus 2? Can that be equal to 6 if we already have 6? No, 6, 7, 8. Not equal to 6. Very good. And now my last one is greater than 6. Again, we have some dominoes. Karate chop the ones that are greater than 6. Yes, again, there are 3. There always seems to be 3. All right, did you get them all? Let's start at the bottom this time. Is 4 plus 0 greater than 6? No. What about 5 plus 2? 5, 6, 7. Yes. 5 plus 3? Think 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, greater than 6. 1 plus 5. 1 more than 5 is 6. Should you karate chop it? No, it's not greater than, it's equal to. And finally, 5 plus 5. Very good. 5 plus 5 is 10. Yes, it is karate chopped. And that is the end of our lesson. Kind of short today. Next week, though, we won't be doing measurement unless I do it in a review lesson. We're going to be talking about sorting. Like if you have a big group of objects, sorting those different objects according to size and shape and color, which I know we've been doing all year, so we'll just review that. And then we're going to go on to what you do with all that data once you've sorted it, right? We can graph it, we can put it in a Venn diagram, we can make line graphs, picture graphs, so many different kinds of graphs. So for the next few weeks, we're going to be dealing with sorting and grouping things together and classifying them and then graphing them to make it really easy to read our data. So I'm so excited. I have so many fun things planned. Remember, tomorrow is a day off, so enjoy your long weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Thank you so much for working so hard for measurement of the past couple weeks. Thanks again to Emma and Owen, who sent me in pictures so I could do that fun lesson yesterday. And keep practicing your facts, keep studying, keep getting on iReady, doing our worksheets to help you to get even better at math. And I miss you all. Love you. Can't wait to see you. And I will be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.